British leader told Parliament she would offer MPs the chance to vote on March 14 on a, quote, short and limited, unquote, extension of the March 29 deadline if her own divorce proposal failed to win lawmakers' support by March 12. But she also cautioned that the extra time would not help negotiations and that she herself opposed any delay.
I do not want to see Article 50 extended. Our absolute focus should be on working to get a deal and leaving on the 29th of March. An extension cannot take no deal off the table. The only way to do that is to revoke Article 50, which I shall not do, or agree a deal.
This dramatic reversal in May's steadfast Brexit strategy came after threats of mass resignations from her own ministers and calls for a second referendum on Britain's EU membership from the main opposition Labour Party. The rebel ministers were all backing a proposed parliamentary amendment that would force May to set a new Brexit date if she fails to get better terms on the disputed issue of the Irish border. It saw the pound rally to its highest level since May 2017 against the euro and since October 12 against the dollar, as investor fears of imminent trade gridlock and financial market mayhem eased. Catholic leader Pope Francis opened a summit on child protection after recent church scandal surfaced. Here's Joy Maranan for more.
Head of the Catholic Church, Pope Francis, opened a landmark Vatican summit on fighting child sex abuse, calling for concrete measures and handing top Vatican bishops a roadmap to tackling pedophilia inside the church.
He handed out a 21-point list of guidelines, which included suggestions such as a drawing up mandatory codes of conduct for priests, training people to spot abuse, and informing the police. The ongoing scandals have escalated into a crisis which has touched many countries across the globe, with recent cases affecting Chile, Germany, and the United States of America. In the latest case, a group supporting victims of pedophilia priests in Poland released a report documenting nearly 400 cases of sex abuse by clerics in this staunchly Catholic country. The scale of the task has been further complicated by the fact that some churches, in Asia and Africa in particular, deny that the problem exists. Within the 3 days and a half of the summit, the 83-year-old pontiff hopes to raise awareness through prayers, speeches, working groups, and testimonies from victims.
From the Vatican here in Rome, Italy, reporting for Eagle News, I am Frances Jamaranan and I am 1 with 25.
Those were our top stories. Stay with us with lifestyles and sports when we return.
Ako po si Bimbo Cerudo. Lagi po kayong manood ng Young Once Upon a Time Season 2 tuwing linggo, alas 8 ng gabi, dito lang sa Net 25.
Balita, and here are today's lifestyle features for this episode. Belgian correspondents Maria Delsin and Kate Rebibis will now take us on a tour in the city of Bruges. Let's take a look.
Kate Rebibis, Maria Delsin here. We are currently visiting one of Europe's commercial and cultural capitals, Bruges, whose city center is a World Heritage Site of UNESCO.
Let's discover together the unique story this city has to tell. Bruges is situated in West Flanders of Belgium. The city's official language is Flemish Dutch, which is a dialect of the Dutch language. In Flemish, we say the city's name as Brugge, and in French as Bruges. But where did the city get its name from?
Well, apparently the city was founded by the Vikings back in the 9th century, and Bruges comes from the old Scandinavian word Brugge, which means harbor or mooring place. Bruges is a city which has a rise, fall, and rise again story. Back in the 12th century, the city thrived in its outports where it was an internationally acclaimed Flemish broth, but soon lost its status in the 15th century when the larger harbor of Antwerp was built.
But in the 1900s, Bruges boomed once again and became an international tourist destination. Its medieval buildings, more than 80 bridges and cobble streets made the city also known as the small Venice of the monks.
Behind us, we have the City Hall of Bruges, one of the oldest owned halls of the Low Countries, also known as Benelux. This is where the city has been governed for over 600 years.
The Gothic Hall is really breathtaking with its 19th century murals and polychrome vaults.
Just a few meters from the City Hall, we have the Brugge, or in English, the Liberty of Bruges.
The Liberty of Bruges used to be a law court, but now holds the city's archives.
Up next, one of the city's most famous symbols, the Belfry of Bruges, is an 83-meter tall medieval commercial building found in the center of the marketplace, with a pavilion of 47 melodious bells. The Belfry was used as a lookout tower for any kind of danger, such as fire or wars. And to commemorate the heroes that battled for freedom in the 14th century, the city had put up a statue of young Gretel and Peter the Koning in front of the Belfry. Make sure to put Bruges in your travel bucket list. We can assure you that there's much more to the city than what meets the eye.
I'm Kate Rebibis,
Maria Delsin,
your EBC correspondent, and always one with 25.
Next, we'll get to see some of the prettiest subway stations in Moscow with our correspondent Sunshine Bumanlag.
Roaming around Moscow City, are you wondering why you may see red letter M on the street? The Moscow Metro is a rapid transit system serving Moscow, Russia and the neighboring Moscow Oblast cities of Krasnogorsk, Ryutov, Lubertsy and Kotolniki. Opened in 1935 with one 11-kilometer line and 13 stations. It was the first underground railway system in the Soviet Union. As of 2018, the Moscow Metro, excluding the Moscow Central Circle and the Moscow Monorail, has 224 stations, and its route length is 381 km, making the 5th longest in the world. The system is mostly underground, with the deepest section 84 meters underground at the Park Pabedi Station, one of the world's deepest. These are some beautiful and magnificent metro stations, may stun and catch your heart. Kivskaya, a favorite of Regent Holidays, General Manager Andrea, this white marbled station is bursting with elaborate artworks, precos, and mosaic depicting life in Ukraine and soldiers during the October Revolution and the Civil War. Mayakovskaya, considered by many to be the jewel in the Moscow metro crown. Ploshad Revolucji. This impressive station, opened in 1948, features no less than 78 magnificent bronze statues of soldiers, farmers, school children, workers, and a whole host of other characters who helped defend the Soviet nation. One of the statues, a dog, is said to bring good luck to those who rub its nose. How to use Moscow metro system? Moscow metro system not only beautiful, clean and safe, it is also cheap way to get around Moscow. Ticket price will surely surprise you. A one-way ticket or one-trip ticket costs 55 rubles, less than $1, regardless of the length of the trip. You'll need a ticket only once at the entrance of the metro. At the ticket booth, you can buy tickets with needing to know a word of Russian. You just need to lift your hand and hold up the number of fingers for the number of tickets you need, 1, 2, 20, or 40. After paying, the cashier will give you a card that will serve as your ticket. The majority of the stations are open from 5:30 a.m. until 1 a.m.
From Moscow, Russia, this is Sunshine London, EPC correspondent, and I am 1 with 25.
Curious about the latest fashion trends? Let's find out together with our correspondent Alia Garcia for the Fashion Week in Paris.
Fashion Week is an event in Paris that happens twice a year. This is an opportunity for hundreds of fashion editors, assistants, stylists, and models descend on the French capital to see what they'll be wearing the next year. Let's say Paris is one of the big four because Paris Fashion Week has the honor of being the host of the final of every biannual fashion event that takes place here. Along with other cities like New York, London, and Milan, Paris Fashion Week is about weeks and weeks of work for the designers and for the journalists to write all about it. The official French name for Paris Fashion Week is Semaine des Créateurs de la Mode, and in accordance with its flashy name, most of the fashion weeks here in Paris take place in Carrousel du Louvre, Invalides but depending on the name brand. Chanel, Christian Dior, Givenchy exhibit their collections in the most famous Parisian locations such as the Grand Palais or the Espace Eiffel, and the less known brands in the locations such as nightclubs. Paris may not be the first place to organize an event like this, But French fashion outshined the world by its elegance and beauty, which became international. Reporting from Paris, France, I am Alia Garcia, and I am 1 with 25.
That is all for our lifestyle features. Stay tuned for sports. And I am Zavina Daniel Balita, and I am 1 with 25.
I am here right now at Spanish Banks, one of Vancouver's popular beaches, where you get a great view of the Vancouver skyline and the North Shore Mountains. Make sure you tune into Digital Nest every Tuesday and Thursday. I am Burkino, your EBC Canada correspondent, and I am 1 with 25.
Hello Digital Nesters, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to watch our future features.
As Eagle Broadcasting Corporation marks its 50th year, it is conducting several activities under the theme EBC Cares, enabling a better community. Health and nutrition are key factors on child's learning and well-being. EBC's feeding program encourages the community to combat malnutrition among children and ensure them a healthy future. EBC's cleanup drive and citronella planting hopes to help the community in caring for environment and preventing diseases such as dengue. EBC's public service program, Paglilingkod sa Bayan, Serbisyo para sa Mamamayan, has opened its doors to government agencies so more people can avail of these services. EBC's blood donation program and medical mission continue to spearhead life-saving projects, and EBC's livelihood seminar teaches and guides those who want to have additional income and business. EBC Cares, serving the people in these interesting times.
Hi, I am Robily Malabanan, and here are our sports news for today. FIFA President Gianni Infantino declared that World Football's governing body is still pondering a 48-team 2022 World Cup in Qatar, saying that anything is possible following Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un's recent summit in Vietnam.
È chiaro che non è facile, però la decisione dell'Area 48 l'abbiamo già presa a partire dal 2026. A partire dal 2022 ovviamente la questione è diversa, però se siamo convinti che 48 sia il numero giusto, perché non provare a farlo prima?
Infantino, who will be unopposed for his re-election as the head of FIFA, floated the possibility of playing matches outside Qatar in order to accommodate the extra teams. Qatar has been in the midst of a diplomatic crisis for 2 years with its neighbors Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, and United Arab Emirates, making a co-hosting option with those countries tricky to organize. The FIFA chief also stated that the Women's World Cup will change the perception of women's football, 100 days from the start of the tournament, which will take place in France starting June 7 up to July 7.
Siamo molto contenti e fieri di contribuire al, penso, rilancio totale del calcio femminile, perché sono convinto che dopo questo mondiale il modo di vedere il calcio femminile nel mondo cambierà. Ci aspettiamo 1 miliardo di telespettatori, 1.300.000 spettatori negli stadi, abbiamo già venduto più di metà dei biglietti.
Hosts the World Junior Athletics Championships in just over a year, hoping to showcase its future stars and the potential the country has to stage international athletics competitions. Athletes are training hard, but preparations for the event have stalled amid construction delays and the government's failure to deliver promised upgrades to sport facilities, including new stadiums. Eton, which is 2,400 meters above sea level, has been the training site for Olympic medal winners including David Rudisha, the former world marathon record holder Wilson Kipsang, and current women's marathon record holder Mary Keitany. But ambitious plans to improve facilities have resulted in running tracks being closed for months and no sign of them reopening.
We don't have a training facility. You realize that for the last years we used to have a training ground here in Camarin Stadium, and of late now it is under construction. It has stalled, so all the athletes now are really suffering. We don't have an alternative track to train.
When Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta was first elected in 2013, he listed 9 stadiums to be built or refurbished. They included the famous Camarini Stadium in Eton and the 2 big stadiums in Eldoret and Kapsabet, both named after the Kenya's legendary athlete Kipchoge Keino. 6 years later, none of the stadiums are ready.
Like for example, Kipchoge Stadium has taken now over, it's almost 10 years. And we are worried also if Camarini is going to take 10 years before it's completed, then where will be the athletes in this country? Where are we? Are we be able to compete well with Ethiopians? Are we going to compete well with Ugandans who are coming up very fast? It is so hard.
As the clock ticks down to next year's championships, athletes point out that delayed government plan to upgrade facilities risk damaging a sport that brings intense national pride to the country. That is all for sports news. I am Robily Malabanan and I am 1 with 25.
This is Eaglenews International Italy edition. Join us again next time as we bring news that matter to you. Visit our website at Eaglenews.PH and like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Eaglenews.PH. This is Jeromia San Vicente Abad and I am 1 with 25.
A typhoon has just struck the coast of Malaysia and hundreds of people are missing. Survivors are being picked up by helicopter and taken to hospital. Sniffer dogs are on standby to help search any houses. But thankfully, none of this is real. It is actually a training exercise carried out by the ASEAN Regional Forum.
It's an exercise bringing together the civilian and the military force and having a joint exercise in preparing ourselves in case there is a disaster. How will countries come together to respond as one?
The training scenarios also include a chemical leak to make sure all the equipment is in working order should it be required in the real world.
Having a good system or having a good institutional mechanism is one, but unless you practice it, you will never know whether it will really work at a time of disaster or not.
The political security community is about more than responding to problems. It is about preventing them as well. Since it was formed to today, ASEAN has ensured the entire region has remained at peace, providing a solid foundation for economic development as well as socio-cultural opportunities. The Treaty of Amity and Cooperation in Southeast Asia came into existence in 1976 and remains the key code of conduct governing interstate relations in the region. It lays out numerous fundamental principles, including mutual respect for the independence and sovereignty of all nations, non-interference in the internal affairs of one another, and the settlement of differences by peaceful means. In 1995, government leaders signed a treaty to make ASEAN a nuclear weapon-free zone to further promote peace in the region. By providing a platform for countries and parties involved in any disputes and tensions, ASEAN is able to keep all conflicting parties present in negotiations and continue exploring options towards peaceful solutions. And it isn't just talking within the 10 countries that has kept the region safe. Over the past few years, ASEAN has deepened and strengthened its relations across Asia and the world. ASEAN's continued cooperation with its international partners promotes peace, stability, prosperity, and the development of the region. Not only are there regular ASEAN meetings between the foreign ministers, but there are also East Asia summits, which allow ASEAN to have a real impact on issues in the wider region. ASEAN is actively engaging its dialogue partners to further enhance dialogue and cooperation with them. The ASEAN +1 meetings with the world's superpowers mean that despite their size, ASEAN countries can have a real impact on global politics. And by adopting coordinated, cohesive, and coherent positions on issues, and by responding collectively to emerging challenges, ASEAN is seen as being a reliable player in the global community.
By talking, by discussing, by being transparent, this is actually promoting trust building. This is building confidence. So it's definitely one of the most successful framework, I would say, in this age and time to promote peace and stability in the region. So, and of course, this trickles down to the safety and security of the people as well.
And looking after its people is ASEAN's main concern. The political security community promotes political development in adherence to the principles of democracy, the rule of law and good governance, and respect for the promotion and protection of human rights and fundamental freedoms as inscribed in the ASEAN Charter.
What are countries but about people? So you have a people-centered ASEAN. And what is it about people that is important? People have rights. People want to live decent lives. They want to have protection from fear. They do not want to live in fear.
When you're dealing with lives, I think the best teacher of all is experience. And the experiences of a collective of nations, is really better than just one nation looking inward.
ASEAN uses the political security community to create a rules-based union of shared values and norms, which is cohesive, peaceful, and resilient. By bringing the 10 nations together, it gives a shared responsibility for security, which allows Southeast Asia to be a dynamic and outward-looking region in an increasingly integrated and interdependent world.
Hey guys, Marie here. I'm in Denver, Colorado, the Mile High City. Denver got its nickname the Mile High due to its elevation being 1 mile or 5,280 feet above sea level. For more fun facts such as this, tune in to Digital Nest on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Digital Nest EBC, to catch all the episodes right at your fingertips. I'm Marie Dumayak, ABC Colorado correspondent. I'm 1 to 25.
Kaso ng dengue at tigda sa Bislig City, Surigao del Sur, tumaas. Mga pag-ulan sa iba't ibang lugar ng Mindoro, ikinatuwa ng mga magsasaka. Pagpapatupad ng Community Enhancement and Livelihood Program, epektibo sa 8 munisipyo sa Palawan. Mahigit sa 1,000 na ang naitalang kaso ng tigdas sa Western Visayas. Sa datos ng Department of Health, umakyat sa 1,068 ang pinaghihinalaang kaso ng tigdas mula Enero hanggang Marso 7. Mas mataas ito kumpara sa 52 na naitalang kaso ng ahensya sa kaparehong buwan noong taong 2018. 4 na ang naitalang namatay dahil sa tigdas, 3 ay mula sa Negros at 1 sa Antique. Sa Negros Occidental pa rin ang may pinakamaraming kaso na 396. Karamihan ng mga naulat na kaso ay mula sa bayan ng Calatrava at Morsha, kasama din ang Sagay City, Himaymalayan at San Carlos. Ang probinsya ng Antique ay may 213 na kaso. Sa Iloilo Province ay may 152. Bacolod City 124, Aklan 68, Iloilo City 51, Capiz 38 at 11 sa Guimaras. Kaso ng may dengue at tigdas tumaas sa Bislig City, Surigao del Sur. May report si Isay Daydisan.
Mula sa 2 kaso ng tigdas noong nakaraang taon, nakapagtala na ngayon ng Bislig District Hospital ng 8 kaso ng tigdas. 5 sa mga ito ay mga residente sa bayan ng Bislig, ang 2 ay sa bayan ng Lingig at ang 1 ay nakatira naman sa bayan ng Tagbina na may edad na 2 taong gulang pataas. Base ito sa mga pasyenteng na-confine sa kanilang ospital. Ang mga pasyenteng dinadala sa Bislig District Hospital ay ikina-quarantine o binukod ang bawat pasyenteng may tigdas upang hindi na ito makahawa pa. Nagsagawa na ng mga house-to-house vaccination ang mga community health workers sa mga barangay upang maagapan ang lumalaking bilang at paglaganap nito. Patuloy ang kampanya ng City Health Office sa pangunguna ni Glinda Salilin, Disease Surveillance Coordinator, na magpabakuna o pabakunahan ng mga batang may edad na 6 na buwan hanggang 79 na buwan upang may proteksyon sa nakakahawang sakit na tigdas. At kung may mga nakitang sintomas na tigdas tulad ng lagnat, rashes sa katawan, ubo at sipon at pamumula ng mata, ay agad na dalhin sa pinakamalapit na pagamutan upang maeksama ng doktor at maisagawa ang kaukulang laboratory examination. Samantala, mayroon namang 70 kaso ng dengue ang naitala ang City Health Office mula Enero hanggang Pebrero lamang nitong taon. Mas mataas pa rin ito kumpara noong nakaraang taong 2018 na may 7 na kaso lamang ng dengue sa kaparehong panahon. Paglilinis pa rin ang kapaligiran ng pangunahing solusyon upang maiwasan ang nakamamatay na sakit na dengue. Pag-aalis sa mga maaaring pamahay ng lamok at maaari namang magtanim ng mga halamang tulad ng marigolds, mint, basil, citronella at lemongrass, geranium, rosemary at lavender na may mga natural mosquito repellent. Hindi lamang ito nakapagdadagdag ng ganda sa ating tahanan, nakakatulong din upang maiwasan ang mga lamok na nagdadala ng dengue virus. Mula dito sa Bislig City, Surigao del Sur, para sa Eagle News, Isay Daydisan, IM1 with 25.
Pagbabakuna kontra tigdas, puspusang isinagawa sa Lanusa, Surigao del Sur. May report si Merly Orozco.
Nagsimula na rin ang pagbabahay-bahay ng mga kawani ng Rural Health Unit sa bayan ng Lanusa, Surigao del Sur para sa libreng bakuna sa mga sanggol na may edad 6 months pataas, pati na rin ang mga nag-aaral na sa elementarya. Sinuyod nila ang mga kabahayan, lalo na yung mga nasa malalayo at yung mga nasa remote areas. Ang iba naman ay tinipon sa mga barangay hall para doon mabigyan ng serbisyo. Namahagi na rin sila ng mga libreng gamot, lalo na yung para sa lagnat. May iba namang mga magulang na sila na mismo ang nagtungo sa center para lang mapabakunahan ang kanilang mga anak. Sa panig naman ng mga magulang, dahil na rin sa pangamba na baka sila din ay magkatigdas, nagpabakuna na rin. Ipinagpapatuloy pa nila ang paglilibot upang makasiguro na lahat ng mga residenteng nakatira sa nabanggit na bayan ay mapabakunahan at makaiwas sa nakamamatay na sakit na tigdas. Samantalang ang mga nasa Department of Health Tandag naman ay naglilibot sa mga isla na sakop dito na para na rin mapabakunahan ang mga residente doon. Merly Orozco para sa Eagle News, IM1 with 25.
Department of Agriculture nanawagan ng press conference tungkol sa rabies, kaugnay ng Rabies Awareness Month. May report si Roosevelt Mondilido.
Kaugnay sa isinagawang inaugurasyon sa Rabies Awareness Month sa buwan ng Marso ay nagsagawa ng press conference tungkol sa rabies ang mga representante mula sa Regional Office Rabies Coordinator Dr. Marie France Q. Halaw, Department of Agriculture Rabies Focal Person. Mr. Nito Fernandez, Department of Health Ribis Coordinator, Dr. Esmeralda Nadila, Provincial Health Officer, Zamboanga del Norte, Dr. Elmer Atienza, Provincial Veterinarian, Zamboanga del Norte, Dr. Imelda Villacruces, City Veterinarian, Dipolog, at Junabil B. Mutya, RN City Health Office, bandang alas 9 ng umaga sa may Top Plaza Hotel, Dipolog City. Ang naturang aktibidad ay dinaluhan sa mga lokal at national media practitioners sa siyudad ng Dipolog at probinsya ng Zamboanga del Norte. Layunin nito upang mapigilan ang paglaganap sa mapanganib na sakit na rabies. Ayon kay Dr. Halaw na natamo ng Dipolog City, Zamboanga del Norte ang pinaka-highest rabies vaccination accomplishment na umabot sa 83.90% sa loob ng Rehiyon 9. Kaya patuloy na nanawagan si Dr. Halaw sa lahat ng may alagang aso o pusa na kailangang mabakunahan ang kanilang mga hayop kaisa sa isang taon. Ayon naman kay Dr. Atienza na kapag may nakagat ang aso o pusa ay kailangang mahugasan kaagad ng flowing water gamit ang detergent soap at pagkatapos agad itong dalhin sa ospital upang magamot. Ipinahayag din ni Dr. Imelda Villacruces, Dipolog City Veterinarian, na patuloy ang kanilang programa sa house-to-house rabies vaccination sa lahat ng barangay sa siyudad ng Dipolog, maging sa mga barangay ng Zamboanga del Norte sa pangunguna ni Dr. Elmer Atienza, Provincial Veterinarian. Para sa Eaglenews, Roosevelt Mondenido, I am one with 25.
Ang iba pang balita mula sa iba't ibang lalawigan sa pagbabalik ng Agila Probinsya.
Events happen around us all the time, in our community, in our country, around the world. Events that affect people, move communities, or simply inspire us. Interesting events that people need to know. In these interesting times, we continue to be a competent partner in delivering news about these events. Fast, accurate, balanced. Eagle News, because we live in interesting times.
Mga pag-ulan sa iba't ibang lugar ng Mindoro, ikinatuwa ng mga magsasaka. May report si Mario San Juan, Florencondia.
Gitna ng naranasang mga tagtuyot sa iba't ibang panig ng Pilipinas dahil sa epekto ng El Nino, labis naman ang tuwa ng mga magsasaka at may-ari ng mga sakahan ng palay sa iba't ibang lugar dito sa bayan ng Gloria, Oriental Mindoro dahil sa madalas na pag-ulan tuwing umaga nitong mga nakalipas na mga araw. Bakas ang tuwa sa mukha ng mga magsasaka dahil nagkaroon ng tubig ang kanilang mga taniman ng palay na nagresulta sa masaganang ani ng kanilang bukirin dulot ng tubig mula sa mga pagulan.
Maganda ang aming ani dulot ng pagulan sa umaga. Bagamat may El Nino sa iba't ibang lugar, ay di naman kami napaektuhan. Nagpapasalamat kami sa pagulan.
Subalit may ilang lugar din naman ang tinamaan ng tagtuyot dahilan para bumaba ang kanilang ani dahil sa maaga at wala sa panahong pag-ani ng kanilang palay na nagresulta sa pagkalugi. Ang iba naman ay kanya-kanyang diskarte upang kahit papaano ay makabawi sa posibleng pagkalugi katulad defending malubag. Pinaghahandaan na rin nila ang epekto ng El Nino sa pamamagitan ng pagtanim ng mga iba't ibang pananim sa panahon ng tagtuyot katulad ng pakwan at munggo.
Malaking lugi. Gawa na ngayon sa magpatalok na lamang. Yung tao. Ay, maaari ba ganyan? Maaari ba yung klase na yan? Ay, yung iba may mga water pump sila dyan. Kaya yung akin lang ang kwan. Wala akong pamay. Ay, makapitin taniman siguro ng pakwan yan. May ilang buwan lang din na ulan. Ay, ito lang ang berde-berde bunga dayo. Gawa din sa nakabuhay kong puso.
Mula sa Oriental Mindoro para sa Eagle News, Mario San Juan, Florencondia, I'm one with 25.
Isa patay habang 3 naman ang sugatan sa pamamaril sa Tanay Rizal. May report si Tantan Alcantara.
Isang insidente ng barilan na naganap sa sitio Jamboree, Barangay Cayambay, Tanay Rizal.
Kinilala ang mga biktima na sina Rafael Larbato Canotin, 60 anyos, residente ng Barangay San Andres. Roberto Encinares Pontillo, 50 anyos at residente ng sitio Ayibon. Isang minor de edad na si Adad Jasper Huerta, 16 anyos, residente ng sitio Pinagtangkahan. At ang isa pang di pa nakikilalang biktima na pawang mga taga-Tanay, Rizal. Base sa inisyal na investigasyon na sinagawa ng Tanay Municipal Police Station, habang nasa lugar ng pinangyarihan ng krimen ng mga biktima, ay may bigla na lamang dumating na isang motorsiklo sa kaya dalawang di pa nakikilalang mga suspect. Bumaba ang mga nasa backride ng motor na arbado ng hindi pa natutukoy na mababang kalibre ng baril at biglang binaril si Rafael Narbato ng ilang beses at agad na tumakas sa mga suspect lula ng nasabing motorsiklo patungo sa sitio Jamboree Road, Barangay Cuyambay, Tanay Rizal. Agad din naman dinala ang unang biktima na sa Kabading Hospital sa Antipolo City dahil sa natamo nitong mga tama ng bala, pero kalaunay dineklarang dead on arrival. Samantala ang dalawa naman sa 3 pang biktima ay dinala sa Amang Rodriguez Hospital sa Marikina at ang isa pang biktima ay sa Camp Kapinpin Hospital sa Tanay Rizal para sa agarang gamutan dahil din sa mga tama ng bala na kanilang natamo. Isang follow-up operation ang patuloy na isinagawa para matukoy ang pagkakakilanlan at pag-aresto ng mga suspect. Mula sa lalawigan ng Rizal, Tantan Alcantara, Eagle News.
Mga sospek sa pagbebenta ng iligal na droga huli sa Cagayan de Oro. May report si Richard de la Cruz.
Matagumpay na naaresto ang suspek sa pagbibinta ng iligal na droga dito sa Barangay Makanhan, Cagayan de Oro sa isinagawang bypass operation ng PDEA. Matapos makabili ang PDEA agent na nagpanggap na buyer ng isang pakiti ng shabu, ay agad nang inaresto ang suspek na kinilalang si Bayrona Lukman. Nakuha sa kanya ang ilang pakiti ng shabu at ang mark money na ginamit sa operasyon. Ilang sandali pa matapos magipag-usap ang PDEA sa suspek, ay agad ikinasa ang isa pang bypass operation sa Barangay Balulang, Cagayan de Oro. Nang muling makabili ang PDEA asset ng isang pakiti ng shabu, ay agad na inaresto ang suspek na kinilalang si Baysa Sangkupan. Na-recover sa suspek ang ilang pakiti ng shabu, maging ang mark money na ginamit sa bypass operation. Labis naman ang pasasalamat ng PDEA sa mga mamamayan dahil sa pagbibigay ng impormasyon ay agad na huhuli ng PDEA ang mga suspek sa pagbibinta ng iligal na droga. Gaya ng una ng sinabi ni Regional Director Wilkins Villanueva, hindi sila titigil hanggang sa makulong ang lahat ng may kaugnayan sa droga dahil ito umano ang marching order ng Pangulo upang maging mapayapa at drug-free ang bansa. Mula dito sa Cagayan de Oro City, para sa Eagle News, Richard de la Cruz ay am1 with 25.
6 na bahay ang nasira matapos itong mabagsakan ng gumuhong pader sa Binyan City, Laguna. May report si Arnel Aleroso.
6 na bahay ang nawasak at 18 pamilya ang naapektuhan matapos gumuho ang isang bahagi ng pader sa South Spring Subdivision sa Barangay Canlalay, Binyan City, Laguna. Ayon kay Jenny Salvador, isang QRT team ng Marshall, bandang alas 6:32 ng gabi, nang makatanggap sila ng tawag mula sa Binyang Command Center na may nabaksakan o naipit di umano na bata sa nasabing subdivision. Agad naman nila tinungo ang lugar. Pagdating nila sa area, ay nakadangan na ang isang bahagi ng pader sa 6 na kabahayan sakop ng Barangay de la Paz na kung tawagin ay Visayas Island. Mabilis naman dumating ang Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office ng Binyan kasama ang Agila 8 na may sapat na kagamitan pang rescue. May ilang residente rin ang nagalusan matapos ang pagguho ng pader na agad naman binigyan ng medical attention ng Binyang Emergency Response Unit o BERU. Maswerte naman walang nasawi o naipit sa nangyaring insidente, pati ang sinasabing bata ay nakaligtas lahat. Pansamantala mo nang dinala ang mga residenteng naapektuhan sa clubhouse ng subdivision para mabigyan sila ng pansamantalang matutulugan Habang iniimbestigahan pa ang nangyaring insidente, sa tulong na rin ni Kapitan Ramon Morales, mga tanod at mga rescuer ng lungsod ng Binyan. Mula rito sa lalawigan ng Laguna, para sa Eagle News, Arnel Aliroso, IM1 with 25.
Isang babae arestado sa kasong illegal gambling sa South Cotabato. May report si Sophia K. Pilio.
Arestado isang babae sa kasong illegal gambling. Kinilala ang naaresto na si Fatima Benetes Estipar, 44 taong gulang at residente ng Barangay Imprugo, Banga, South Cotabato. Si Estipar ay inaresto dahil sa paglalaro ng tongis. Matagal ng ordinansa sa lungsod na ipinagbabawal ang pagsusugal. Payo ng mga otoridad na sa halip na magsugal ay maghanap buhay na lamang ng marangal. Maaaring makapagpiyansa ng 30,000 piso si Estipar na nasa kustodiya na ng pulisya. Samantala, arestado naman ang isang lalaki sa isinagawang bypass operation sa Barangay Liwanay, Banga, South Cotabato matapos magbenta ng 2 pakete ng pinaghihinalaang shabu sa isang pulis na nagpanggap na isang buyer. Nakuha din sa sospek ang isang mark money na 500 peso bill. Kinilala ang sospek na si Roy Galopo Madrianon, 40 anyos, residente ng Purok Mahidaiton, Barangay Liwanay, Banga, South Cotabato. Nasa kustodiya na ng South Cotabato Provincial Crime Laboratory Office ang nakuhang 2 pakete ng pinaghihinalaang shabu para isa ilalim sa pagsusuri. Mula dito sa Surala, South Cotabato, Cherilyn Dilarama, Eagle News, IM1 with 25.
Community Enhancement and Livelihood Program epektibo sa 8 munisipyo sa lalawigan ng Palawan. May report si Ann Ramos.
Community Enhancement and Livelihood Program epektibo sa 8 munisipyo sa lalawigan ng Palawan. Isa sa nakikitang dahilan ng pagbaba ng bilang ng kriminalidad sa lalawigan ay ang pagpapatupad ng Community Enhancement and Livelihood Program o CELP ng pamahalaang panlalawigan ng Palawan. Base sa ginawang pagpupulong na dinaluhan ng matataas na opisyal ng pulisya na nakatalaga sa iba't ibang munisipyo sa lalawigan, 70 to 90% ang naging pagbabago ng mga drug surrenderies na sumailalim sa Community Enhancement and Livelihood Program. Ayon sa ebaluasyon ng pulisya, ang programa ay nakatulong upang mabawasan ang mga naitatalang karahasan at kaguluhan sa mga lokalidad. Sa ginawang pag-aaral kaugnay ng implementasyon ng CELP, ang mga drug surrenderies na sumailalim sa programa ay kinakitaan ng positibong pagbabago sa kanilang buhay katulad ng mga sumusunod. Naging maayos na ang pamumuhay ng mga ito. Nagkaroon ng maayos na hanap buhay, marunong mga magbigay ng oras sa pamilya, gumanda ang pangangatawan at higit sa lahat hindi na bumalik sa dating bisyo. Inilunsad ang Community Enhancement and Livelihood Program noong nakaraang taon sa 8 munisipyo sa lalawigan na kinabibilangan ng mga bayan ng Cuyo, El Nido, San Vicente, Rojas, Kalayaan, Rizal, Brooks Point at Araceli. Samantala sa mga susunod na buwan ay nakatakda ring maisakatuparan ng CELP sa 4 na munisipyo sa lalawigan na kinabibilangan ng mga bayan ng Nara, Quezon, Sopronio, Española at Taytay. Prioridad ng pamahalaang panlalawigan na sa pamamagitan ng CELP at mga hakbangin ng Provincial Anti-Drug Abuse Council ay maideklarang drug-free province sa lalawigan ng Palawan sa malapit na hinaharap. Mula sa lalawigan ng Palawan, Ann Ramos, Eagle News, IM1 with 25.
Samantala, isinagawa sa Pangasinan Provincial Police Office ang pagdiriwang ng ika-28 anibersaryo ng Philippine National Police. May report si Nora Dominguez.
Ipinagdiwang ng Pangasinan Police Provincial Office ang ika-28 PNP anniversary na dinaluhan ng mga hepe ng 44 na bayan at 4 na syudad sa buong lalawigan. Pinangunahan ni Police Senior Superintendent Wilson Joseph Lopez, Provincial Director ng Pangasinan, ang isinagawang aktibidad. Nagsilbi namang panauhing pandangal si dating PNP General at 2nd District Congressman Leopoldo Batawil sa isinagawang PNP anniversary. Nanawagan si Batawil sa kapulisan sa Pangasinan na maging neutral, apolitical at i-level ang playing ground sa mga tumatakbong kandidato sa kanyang mensahe sa isinagawang flag raising ceremony sa Pangasinan Police Provincial Office. Nagsilbing guest of honor, speaker at awarding officer ang mambabatas sa mga napiling personalidad ng PNP na may malaking ambag sa lipunan at tulong ng mga mamamayan sa pagkikipag-ugnayan sa mga pulis sa lalawigan. Iginit ni Batawil na hindi dapat pumanig sa kaninumang political party ang pulisya at sumunod sa COMELEC guidelines and resolution. Dagdag pa ni Batawil, hindi niya inaasahan na paboran siya ng mga ito bilang dating opisyal
opisyal ng PNP at sa halip ay hinikayat nito na maging patas ang mga ito sa lahat ng pagkakataon upang mapanatili ang respeto sa kanilang hanay. Kaugnay nito ay itinurn over din ng kongresista ang Agila's Multipurpose Center sa PPO upang magamit sa iba't ibang aktibidad. Ang naturang Multipurpose Center ay napondohan mula sa General Appropriations Act of 2018. Mula sa Pangasinan, para sa Eagle News, Nora Dominguez, I am 125.
2019 induction of officers and directors ng Press Club matagumpay na isinagawa sa Cagayan de Oro City. May report si Richard de la Cruz.
Matagumpay na ginanap ang Cagayan de Oro Press Club 2019 induction of officers and directors sa isang hotel dito sa Cagayan de Oro na pinamunuan mismo ni Secretary Martin Andanar. Ang pagbisita ng sekretary ay nakapagpataas ng moral sa mga media practitioner at ang kanyang mensahe ay naging inspirasyon ng lahat upang lalong magpakatapang sa pagbibigay ng mga impormasyon sa mga mamamayan ukol sa nagagawa ng iba't ibang ahensya ng gobyerno, maging ang mga gumagawa ng katiwalian. Pinasalamatan din ng sekretary ang pagkilala sa kanya ng mga media practitioner sa Cagayan de Oro na kung saan siya ay membro nito at karangalan ng mga Cagayanon dahil isa siya sa mga pinagtitiwalaan ngayon ng Pangulo. Labis naman ang pasasalamat sa kanya ng lahat ng mga miyembro ng Cagayan de Oro Press Club. Pagkatapos magsalita ng sekretary ay formal nang isinagawa ang turnover ceremony sa magiging president ng Press Club. Mula kay outgoing President Rapi Magbanwa ay ibinigay nito ang kanyang posisyon kay incoming President Ritchie Saliuman. Sa naging talumpati naman ng bagong president, pinasalamatan nito ang suporta ni Secretary Andanar at ipinangako na lalong isusulong ang magagandang programa sa club lalo na sa usaping pangkalusugan, pre-medical check-up, hospitals at iba pa ang kanyang isusulong. Bagay na lalo namang nagpatas ng moral ng mga media practitioner dahil may mapupunta na ang mga ito sa panahon ng pangangailangan. Hinikayat din niya ang lahat na suportahan at makipagkaisa sa kanyang administrasyon. Sa pagtatapos ng programa ay tumanggap ng Commendation Award ang sekretary at ilang media practitioner na nilagdaan ng bagong president ng Press Club at ni Secretary Jigger Jerusalem. Mula dito sa Cagayan de Oro City, para sa Eagle News, Richard de la Cruz, I am 1 with 25.
Kaya Football Club Iloilo muling sasabak sa AFC Cup laban sa Home United Football Club ng Singapore. May report si Mark Cuevas.
Muling sasabak ang Kaya Football Club Iloilo sa gaganaping Asian Football Confederation laban sa Home United Football Club ng Singapore ngayong Miyerkules sa Panad Stadium sa Bacolod City. Tinanghal na kampyon ang Kaya FC Iloilo sa katatapos lang na Copa Paulino Alcantara Football Competition na tinalo nila ang Davao Agila sa score ng 1-0. Ikinalungkot ng koponan na hindi sila makapaglaro sa kanilang home court province dahil sa makakulangan ng facilities ng Iloilo Sports Complex na hindi akma sa pamantayan ng Asian Football Confederation. Maging ang team captain ng Kaya FC Iloilo na si Jovin Bedic ay dismayado dahil sa hindi sila makakapaglaro sa Iloilo Sports Complex. Kumpiyansa ang koponan na may papanalo nila ang laban dahil sa ito ay lalaruin sa harap ng maraming Ilonggo fans na manonood sa nasabing game event. Humingi naman ng suporta ang Kaya FC Iloilo sa kanilang mga fans at mga kababayan. Para sa Eagle News, Mark Cuevas and M1 with 25.
Yan ang mga balitang tinutukan ng ating mga Agila correspondent mula sa iba't ibang sulok ng Pilipinas. Ito ang Agila Probinsya. Ako po si Cristel Pisalbon, ang inyong naging tagapaghatid balita.